everybody, welcome back inside the stash. So with the problems that I had with my twofers and my tongue and my inability to speak right because I sound like this, I have a whole bunch of stuff here that I have gotten in that I want to share with you. So I'm going to break this video into two parts, basically because it'll be really long without it, and some people just don't care about certain things. And well, not a knock on anybody, it's just a fact of the matter. So this is going to be sort of our bric-a-brac odds and ends video. I have a whole bunch of like detail upsets and things like that I've gotten in, and then we'll do a second one with the kits, because right now basically my whole area is drowning in stuff that I need to put away, and I can't put it away because I need to video it first. So we're going to spin the camera around here real quick, and we'll get started on this adventure, shall we? Alright guys, so first up we got some little lacquer paint pots in. There were some things that I was looking to be working on here relatively soon that sort of required certain colors, and so I went ahead and picked up some of these to see if what these colors look like compared to the Tamiya stuff that I normally use, as well as just trying to match some decals basically. So these two here are two pots of the lacquer paint Tamiya stuff, the new line that they have that technically still we don't have here in the United States as of yet because of the great state of California and all of its labeling requirements to tell you not to drink it or else you're going to get cancer. These are Italian red. Looks pretty much just like the red matter, the Mr. Hobby color down here. Basically, I have a race car that, unless I want to actually stripe and two-tone, I needed a paint to match the red on the decals. Now, the call-out on the instructions is for this red matter, and then I got this because I figured it is a slightly different shade of red, but I got these because, well, you can never have too many Ferrari reds, and like I said, we're trying to match the color there. And then I have neutral gray because it was the interior call out on a Mercedes burnt iron, which is basically looks like another version of steel. This RLM gray green I needed for some interior work that I was looking for, and then this is mahogany allegedly, so we'll see what that ends up looking like. They sort of tell you on these labels for Mr. Color what they're going to wind up being. This is a semi-gloss, that's a semi-gloss, semi-gloss, gloss, and a metallic. So those paints are in, and like I said, for various future projects down the road. It's just something that was eating up my desk space here, which my camera's not out of whack because I keep holding my hand in front of it. We picked up at NNL East, mainly because it was something that I had my eye on for a while, just in general, and they were there. Mike's Decals was there selling all of his lines, so I went ahead and picked this up. These are the Ace decals. Now I'm way too close because of how close I had that camera for the paint. But Ace decals, this is for the Ryan Blaney Virginia Tech car that he ran in his rookie season. People who've watched the show for a long time know that when the Danica Patrick Ford Fusions were on blowout clearance at Ollie's, I picked one up, and it was to do this car. Without going into a whole song and dance about it, my family is friends with the Blaneys through my dad and his business dealings with them. And so I always appreciated Dave, and now Ryan's in NASCAR, obviously. So this is what the car ends up looking like here. They're saying the Tamiya TS11 was the best match, which is this maroon color. Looks a little dark, but then I think this print is just not the right color because the car is really a very, very dark red like the can of spray paint is. It was one of those things where I'm trying to think who it was. Dave Burkett, Model King, was there with selling a bunch of Tamiya paint and stuff like that. So he happened to have the correct color, the TS11 spray paint, so I picked that up. And yeah, this will be somewhere along down the road, far away project. But I'm happy to just pick it up. So one of those things where like I didn't really want to just buy a set of decals, and it was just a case where yeah, those happen to be there. They all have to be at one place at one time, and so huzzah! So we got a bunch of little detail upsets here, and I'm going to adjust the camera. Whoop, we're going up on my tripod here so that we can be a little more in line with where I want to hold this stuff. First up from Hobby Design is a detail upset for the probably 6 months ago released R34 Mordor, as we like to call it, the 25 GT Turbo, the Aoshima kit. A couple sheets of photo etch in here, a smaller one for little bits and pieces and Nissan logos. These are sort of resin cast seatbelt receptacles. And there's a larger sheet back here with the brake faces and your grills and wipers that nobody ever uses and things like that. There's some backgrounds here for the rear taillights and things like that. So that was, I mean, I really can't show you anything with it because like the instruction manuals, it's in here and I haven't really dug it out yet. But it was like $8, and so just add a little extra detail to the kit. So there's that, and then one that I know a lot of people were interested in just because of the fact that we want to sort of build up your Tamiya kits to be as detailed as possible, and that is this, the Hobby Design photo etch set for the Ford GT. Obviously, this is the Tamiya streetcar version. This just came out last week, so you may not have seen it, may not know about it. Same thing with that 25 GT that just came out. So this has a whole bunch of stuff in it. Obviously, it's got some seatbelt materials. The plastic bag here has the receptacles, and there's 3 sheets of photo etch in here. One set sort of has the gauges and things, or not the gauges, but the wording and things like that. And then there's some smaller vents, and then you have your brake faces and your bigger vents and things like that. Tamiya does include a couple sections in there where they're using the whole decals on clear thing like they did with the NSX. So if you want the photo etch look of having these, these vents back here, if I can get this to focus, probably not too much glare, but you want the actual main vents of the car, which will be these ones that slot in here in front of the rear wheels, to be actual correct, and not just be a decal. There's that. This is, I want to say, like $20. There's a little bit more photo etch in there. Also picked this up a little earlier than that, but again, just been sitting here, and is the Hobby Design set for the Nissan Skyline GTS R. This is the first release of that R31 on the street side. There's been that Nismo version that came out a little bit after that, but this is a little sheet of photo etch here. Again, seatbelt material, seatbelt receptacles, and some grills for like the radiators. There's brake faces here, which I guess isn't really showing. There we go. Brake faces here, speaker faces, pedal set, things like that. Again, it's another little like $8 photo etch set. So if you don't use it all, it's not that terrible a crisis. And then let's see here. I got some more photo etch I want to go through real quick before I go into the decals. This is something I picked up because it was on sale for, I think, the spring sale that it was Hobby Link Japan was doing. I have these kits. I just don't have any. I never bought the photo sets for them back in the day. And this is the EF3 Civic. So this is the first one of the racing Civics that B-Max did. It has a little bit of carbon fiber for the seat, basically, and then some photo etch and seatbelt material. If you've seen us talk about the detail upsets for B-Max, and you know pretty much what you're getting with it as far as the pieces and parts. So that's this was like $5 on sale. And then I got this one too because this dropped something on the floor. Look out! Incoming photo etch. Because again, this was like $5 on sale, and they're sort of blowing them out. And this is a set for the 2012 Chevy Cruze kit, the first kit that B-Max ever did. This has a bunch of carbon fiber for the car itself, front lift spoilers, some interior pieces, parts for the wings and stuff like that. And then you have this photo etch set, which is the only way to get the driver's net, because that's not a part of the plastic kit itself. Brake faces, a couple of things. I don't think there's actually seatbelt material in here. Although there are buckles and stuff like that. Although the back says there's seatbelt material, so it must be down, stuck in behind here somewhere. So, yeah. So, like, again, $5, why not? I picked this set up because I was going to be doing one of these Fujimi 911 GT3 kits, and there's so much venting on the car as far as on the vents literally on the body. Let's see if I can find the body here in the drawer real quick. when you start looking at this car, you have these vents down here on the front. There's this vent down here for the radiator. There's vents in the front nose piece here. There's vents right here behind the wheel. There's vents back here behind the wheel. Yeah, you get the idea. It's a venti car. And the car I'm going to be doing is white. And I didn't particularly feel like trying to two-tone all of that, because in my mind, yes, it is easier to drill out all of that and replace it with the photo etch that comes with this than it is to do anything else. I think it's very cute that they included 2 seatbelt receptacles with this, because obviously it's not that kind of car. But it did include the racing buckles down here as an afterthought. I mean, hey, I guess you got a couple of seatbelt receptacles. Seatbelt material here, but again, I'm not probably going to put the seatbelts in this at all. There is, your closing, your hood pins. This sheet back here has like all of your vent things like that. And then these sheets back here, there's wing parts, and then you can build up a set of photo etch brakes, should you so desire, because the way the brakes designed in this kit, the rotors are completely separate from the wheel back and the caliper and stuff like that. So there's that. And then let's see what else we have here. I finally managed to pick one of these up. HobbyLink Japan for some reason sold out of them, and then so did Hobby Search, and it became a really a search to try to find somebody who had these in stock for a halfway decent price. Like Spot Model has it in stock, but they want more than it cost new, if you will, just with the exchange rate being what it is. So I found this at Hobby Easy. Happened to have a couple sets of these lying around, so I grabbed one. Mainly not so much for the photo etch, because if you guys remember, the actual Audi Sport Quattro, which is what this is, the little rally kit that BMAX did, you'll recall, doesn't have the full tobacco livery in the kit decals. You had to buy the photo etch, similar to the BMW M3, to get the full tobacco logos. And so I felt that the photo etch with the tobacco liveries was worth it, trying to find a set rather than just going out and buying a Renaissance or whoever set to replace just the tobacco liveries. So this is a fairly robust decal set, detail up set. Obviously, you have all of the vents, all for the hood and the back deck, and the logo, the basically the placard holders for the rally markers itself, the license plate backs, and just a whole slew of things there, plus the seatbelt material to build out 2 seats worth of seatbelts. There's also an antenna and an antenna pieces in here. There we go. So that's there. And then also, sort of a hint to one of the kits that'll be coming in the next video, this is the detail up set for the Team Italia Monza car, BMW M6. You've seen one of these, you've seen them all. These are not new. There's nothing about this that's any different than the Nürburgring car, the Falcon car. Now, this is the Falcon car and the Monza car, by the way, keep in mind, are the detail upsets you want for any of the BMW M6s, because the carbon fiber that it comes with these was the wrong color in the original detail upset. It's in these sets, it is the traditional, black, metallic, gray, silver carbon fiber that you would expect it to be. So, as always, the only way you can get the little front canards for the front little winglets are here, and the only way you get the driver safety nets are on here, as well as the tow hooks. The tow hooks are also in here somewhere. I can't find them off the top of my head. Let's see if I can drop this seatbelt material in here, because they're on here somewhere. At any rate, I'm not sure where they've disappeared off to on here. But obviously you have all the side vents, and you have the brake faces, the larger vents, the BMW vents, the slam locks, should you want to go that way with them. And yeah, just overall, a bunch of stuff on here that's handy to have, but some things on here, again, that only come with the detail upset. And we got 2 sets of decals to wrap up this video. First up is a replacement set that Shunko just did last month for the older first-gen Honda NSX. I looked at this and saw N and just went Nissan. This is the Castrol Mugen car from back in the late 1990s. It's a Japanese Grand Touring Championship car, JGTC, prior to Super GT, basically. and this basically replaces the kit livery. There's some color pieces to this that don't exist, or that exist on the factory sheet from Tamiya that aren't on here. Shunko's always been pretty good about giving you just enough to do the livery, but you're going to do all the two-toning. So it's, you know, it's everything you need, but you're going to have to paint a lot of the park green areas on here. So you got to paint the roof, you got to paint the front bumper, the rear bumper. I believe in the kit decals, to my memory at least, the roof decal is a where the roof piece up here is a full decal. So, you know, it's not too terribly bad, and having a backup set for this, especially with these stripes and the way the Tamiya's decals didn't really play real well in the 1990s, is much improved. You got a couple different choices of how you want to build the car. You can do the All-Star race that was actually, I believe, done in the United States, if the year remembers right. There was one year where Super GT came to the United States, put on an exhibition race. And then you could do just a regular, this is round 5 Motegi. I have to look up to see if they won that round, if that's why they picked that, or just happened to be the photo references that they had. And then the last thing we have here is the, this came out a few months ago at this point, but I finally picked it up now. It is the carbon fiber detail upset for the Tamiya R90 GT1 car, the Le Mans car, the big swoopy car. I think everything is on this back decal here as far as the instructions go. So this will give you an idea what's in it. You know, pretty much the standard carbon fiber from Studio 27 at this point. A lot of interior pieces, some exterior pieces. You always got to do the whole back of the rear diffuser and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty cool little sheet. Detail up an older Tamiya kit. That's Tamiya kit from the early 2000s. It's still in production. As a matter of fact, I just got my back order of this kit in at Hobby Link Japan. I've had that kit on back order since the beginning of 2019, and I finally fulfilled my order. So I got one anyway. It's still on back orders. There's still people waiting on it. But that's in now. So anyway, guys, that is my sort of assemblage of randomness that I got in here. I mean, I'm not going to show you, like, I got a gross of mixing cups to mix paint with, but you really don't need to see that. And I think that pretty much wraps up this one. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. And tune in for part 2 later on, and we look at the kits, and we'll see you guys on the other side.